Live Jinjer. I have been wanting to get to Live Jinjer essentially since I heard Teacher. Now I know that was a live song for the video, but the actual song was recorded, right? Just the visuals were live. This is going to be an actual live performance from Jinjer. I've been wanting to get to this personally for a long time. So we're going to do that today. For those of you who are new to the channel, what we do here is I watch the video or listen to the song. I stop it here and there where I see fit because I will forget. And then after that, we talk about the message and we talk about the music. I'm going to try and break down a little bit the, kind of what they're doing technique wise on the guitars. Talk about Tatiana's singing because her singing is always amazing. One of the things I like about Jinjer is the mixture and fusion of soft vocals and harsh vocals that Tatiana does, but also that the band members do with the song, right? Teacher especially had a nice, open, soft, almost like romantic portion of the song where it's really slow. And then they just hit that bridge super hard. I really love bands that can do that. It kind of like gives you a chance to breathe right before they rip your face off with the song. So I'm keen to that. But anyways, we're gonna get into this. This is gonna be Jinjer Perennial live at Wacken Open Air 2019. I debated whether I should listen to the studio version first and then come into this. But honestly, that takes away a little bit from the kind of wow factor of hearing a song for the first time. So we're not going to do that. I'm going to try and see if I can kind of recreate some of the guitar sounds. So please note, I have yet to buy like a actual setup here. So my setup sounds super shitty right now. In the future, I'm hoping to buy some of that equipment. But before we get started, on that note, my Patreon is now up, so go ahead and follow the link in the description below to go to my Patreon. A lot of my movie and TV show reactions will be there specifically right from after I record because it's easy to post there and I don't get the whole copyright issues on Patreon. So if you want to do watch alongs with me to movies and TV shows, go ahead and hit up my Patreon. They will be there at least a week, but probably more like 2 weeks before they get on to YouTube. So I'll be way ahead of my Patreon for the movies and TV shows if you would like to join. Members are also live on my YouTube channel if you'd like to help out the channel. Again, none of this is expected or required, but it definitely does help the channel out a lot. Without all that nonsense, let's go ahead. Let's get into, pretty sure I broke my headset trying to put my guitar on earlier. It's very janky. All right. Without further ado, let's get into this. This is Jinjer Perennial live at Wacken Open Air 2019. I think I'm saying that correctly. All right, here we go.
Dankeschön, Germany.
Before we get into this, can I just say like what a specimen she is? Looks, talent-wise, personality. She's the whole package. Okay, sorry. I'll stop fanboying now.
With the next song, we must say goodbye to you. But rather not goodbye, but see you next time.
This autumn feels like funeral to me. The longest song of grief. And not for what has passed, but for
You look ready.
what shall last.
Alright, Germany, put it!
There you go.
Exhausted nights, always so tragic and so it's alone. Our spectacular shadows, ridiculous our sound. Death throws our slowly, crawling to our toes. As the last lift is falling out our life.
I'm here with her. I'm dressed with a few petals on my breast. Wishing opiate to make the landscape still the same. How long you'll walk, why I prefer to sleep like cold alone.
Okay. I'm trying not to stop it as much. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about though. So we have, well, let's go back and then now I will stop it when we get to those points. I'll talk about. Tatiana's singing. So especially her growls. A lot of people will growl and they won't have a pitch. And that's really normal for a lot of like these kinds of singers, is to not have a pitch when they're doing their growls. I forgot the singer's name right now. I'm totally drawing a blank. Of Spirit Box. So she does that. She doesn't really have a pitch when she's doing her fry screams. Tatiana does. She's found a way to have a pitch while she's singing. She sounds really good live. Like I know it's one thing, you know, that was a live performance of Pisces, right? But it's still studio. They overdubbed some lyrics, right? This is purely live here. And she sounds great. The mix sounds pretty good for live. All that sounds gravy. There was a time signature change here that I like. It's really subtle. I think it was like going from 4/4 to 2/4. Again, love the time signature changes. And a lot of the times that is used to, you know, kind of, if for whatever reason you're coming out of the song, it brings you back. It also gives a cool feel. And I think it makes it kind of more adrenaline pumping to have those time signature changes. But let's see if I can hear it. Of course. All right, so I'll count it for you guys so you can hear it. The whole song is in 4/4. So that change right there, it went to 2/4. So basically halftime. Little subtle. It fits in because it's still, you know, quarter notes, but it fits really well. Again, we don't have to get into the details of like quarter notes, eighth notes, and stuff like that, but really cool, really cool. Okay, let's continue. And then again, we have the contrast, right? The band's pretty much still playing the hardcore stuff, but her voice goes from that growl, from that fry, whatever, into this nice soft vocals that we know she can do so well. I love that contrast. It's so cool. Interesting. To see you fly, said us farewell. I will see each other next time. So please come back to celebrate this festival of life. Okay, that sounds like a good place to stop. So again, she's doing her soft vocals. Like the music doesn't change too much in terms of intensity, but she goes from the soft into this pre-chorus or chorus where she's even more intense than she was at the beginning of the song when she was doing her, you know, her growls, right? I love those contrasts in music. I think a lot of the songs that I enjoy have that huge contrast. Really, really cool. To see you fly, said us farewell. I will see each other next time. So please come back to celebrate this festival of life. That is now. Fly. Today you reached the point. And they come out of that section with her soft vocals. Tomorrow I will need you with yourself restored. Ooh, nice little sultry section again. Ooh, finger tappings, slide rendition on the bass. Into the tradition of mass destruction, in the name of even her low notes. A lot of time, people who don't have the lower register in their voice, when they get to those low notes, they like run out of air because there's less space for those low or bass notes to escape. So they run out of air. She doesn't run out of air. It's her range is really good too.
Total reconstruction. My biggest source of confusion. The reason of decay and disillusion. Under permanent ties, we found breathless paradise.
2-chord vamp here.
No, you're not dead. Just enjoying coma.
One breath.
On my rights, then you may will rise to the sky. This is poetry of you. This is poetry of me and you. From the ashes of my rights, then you may will rise to the sky. This is poetry of you. This poetry of me and you.
There's a lot going on with the chord progression. I'd have to sit down and figure it out, and that can be boring, but there's a lot of going into inversions, and there's a lot of going into like they're utilizing the notes of the same scale in a different way is what I'm trying to say, which is really cool. There was something I wanted to talk about. That whole this is one long breath that she takes right here. Impressive.
This is poetry of you. This is poetry of me and you. From the ashes of my rights, then you may will rise to the beginning. This is poetry of you. This is poetry of me and you.
Thank you so much, Wacken. Well, we've heard a lot of great things.
Speaking of contrast, her screaming into that like almost cute voice.
This poetry of me and you.
Thank you so much, Wacken. Well, we've heard a lot of great things about you, but it's about expectations, man. You're fucking amazing, and stay amazing. Thank you so much, and see you someday.
Yeah, that one long breath there was, I counted like around 19, 20 seconds, something like that. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy considering, I mean, that's her actual voice. It's a little bit different, like when Chester did it in Given Up, where it's like his fry scream, and that's like, and he changed the pitch of the fry scream. That was crazy, but still, it's very hard to not only hold different notes for that long in one breath, but also to just go into the next phrase without really catching your breath. That's why she's out of breath. But all right, let's talk about this a little bit. Really cool, kind of some of the stuff that Jinjer does. Like I said before, I really like the beginning of this song with the you know the kind of the intro of the song where it's the band starts off hard, she starts off soft, and then they both meet you know, where they're doing kind of the intensity. Then she goes back down with her vocals, but the band stays. The flows of the band and her kind of, it's a wave, right? Until at the very end, they meet and they're both the band and her are intense, right? Just another aspect of Jinjer that I really enjoy. And there's a lot of other bands that do that for sure. Don't get me wrong, but really, really cool. Her breath control, amazing. Her clean vocals, amazing. Her, for lack of a better term, her dirty vocals are really interesting just because, like I said, at times she doesn't have pitch. At times she does have pitch. It's really cool how she's able to, within her growls or her fry vocals, how she's able to kind of have different kinds of those. So she said before that she's worked on her vocals a lot, and then, you know, she's got that scream down and then they don't tour for a while or whatever, and she forgets and she has to relearn how to do it. So it sounded different throughout, you know, Jinjer's career, but it's really interesting. I want to talk about the music a little bit to see if I can play some of these riffs. Let's get into it. I had to Jimmy rig this. I'm tuned down to drop D, and then I have a pitch corrector on my software that's tuning it down to A, because that's what they play this in, right? So we're gonna do this, and let's talk about this. Okay, so that's the first section. It's really, honestly, not extremely difficult when in drop tuning. What's difficult here is the technique mixed with speed that makes some of their stuff pretty cool. So that's that first phrase right there that they played. Pretty straightforward. Again, there's a lot of like palm muted, almost like ghost notes that they do, mostly for rhythm, but sometimes they do sound through. That's it. That's that first phrase. And then let's go to this next phrase.
Exhausted night, always so tragic and so it's alone.
All right, this part. This is what I was saying about it being fast. Let's see if I can do this. It might be super gnarly, but we're gonna try it. They're playing matte. That's all they're playing. It looks super simple, right? But with the speed, it's honestly the speed of it, right? Pretty cool. That was the cool part, in my opinion, was that intro. So yeah, that was the part I kind of wanted to talk about. So that type of guitar playing is pretty normal for this type of music, right? There is a lot of bands that, I mean, you're going to get the double bass, you're going to get all that stuff. And it is about playing fast. But what I do like about Jinjer, and it's not necessarily in this song, excuse me, but they do also have really cool technical things that they do. It's not just playing arpeggios and seeing how fast you can play it. It's, you know, the inverted chords, where they're playing the chords, you know, how they do some of the finger tapping, how they go from chord to chord or from note to note is very interesting to me. So that's also one of the things I really like. But this was really cool. I really like this. Hearing them live kind of like seals the deal that they're tight. They're really good band. A lot of bands, they're great in the studio. When you have you have the drum track or the metronome, right? And you have somebody saying, okay, you're slow, okay, you're fast. It's really easy in the studio, even in post digitally in Pro Tools or whatever. You can move notes to be on the beat if they're a little bit off. Production wise, you can make a band sound super tight. But then when they go to a live, right, like Polyphia is super tight. But when you go to a live rendition, can they stay that way? Polyphia is very good at that. Like they are tight, whether it's produced or if it's live. This band is the same. They're very tight. They're very knit. They're very together. The drums and the rhythm section, so the bass player and the guitar player, they all feed off each other. They're playing similar rhythmic patterns. They're always syncopated. they're in tune with each other rhythmically, which is very important for bands who like to have time signature changes, who like to have quick changes in and out of time signatures, all that stuff. So that is why I appreciate Jinjer, and that is why they opened for Disturbed in the Bay Area where I used to live. I know it's 3 hours away, but I didn't know until after the fact when I saw my cousin had gone and seen them. But I really wish I could have gone. It would have been cool to see Disturbed, but honestly, it would have been really cool to see Jinjer. So next time they come around, hopefully I'll be able to go. But I really like this band, guys. You're going to get to see a lot more of this band on here because they've become slowly my favorite. I think when I was on vacation, I had Teacher on repeat, which is still my favorite song that I've listened to from them so far. I've only heard 3 of them, but it is my favorite song. But anyways, I appreciate you guys so much for the support. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps the channel out a lot. And please do remember that good vibes are contagious.